Hi there, everyone. This is a Good Omens inspired fan fiction in a high fantasy sort of style. I decided to title it Ineffible Nights, and this is Chapter 1, Meeting. Azzy sighed wistfully as he leaned against the rough-hewn doorframe of the lonely guard shack. Out here on the outskirts, the celestial kingdom he was employed to guard bordered on a rather dark and reportedly cursed forest. Foul creatures of all imaginings lived in the forest's dark depths, and it was Azzy's sworn duty to keep them far away from the lovely civilized kingdom of Celestia, so named for its ruling class, the celestial beings. Azzy himself was half celestial, the result of his human mother falling in love with his celestial night father. His lineage had been enough to get him a situation as one of the celestial king's knights, but not enough to get him a better post than this one. The isolation was unpleasant to one as warm and friendly as Azzy, who thrived on good company. Well, that and a good book. And at this far-flung post, both were in very short supply. Few dared travel by way of the cursed forest, and those that did were generally hard-hearted, angry men who refused his offer for tea and a chat. As he sighed again, his breath fogging before him and drifting up to a twilight sky where the first stars were beginning to sparkle to life. His morose and lonesome thoughts were soon interrupted by something, a sound like hooves pounding down on hard earth. This alone wouldn't be alarming, but it was coming out of the cursed forest at night. This was enough to make Azzy straighten in his beautiful white and gold armor and draw forth his sword as he stepped from his little guard shack to stand ready in the middle of the road. A small frown turned his pink lips down at the edges, and his normally warm blue eyes turned hard as a huge black horse thundered into view, bearing a rider with armor of black and crimson. As he swallowed hard as a chill wind blew in before the dark rider, ruffling Azzy's nearly white curly locks and making him shiver just a bit. The horse pounded closer, and now he saw that its eyes glowed like fire, and sparks flew when its huge feet struck the earth. As he tightened his grip on his sword and willed it to burst into celestial blue flame, as he shouted at the dark rider with far more confidence than he felt. "You there! Halt, I say, and announce your business here." The dark rider barely moved, yet the massive steed blew a stream of flame from its nostrils and slid to a stop mere feet from Azzy's gleaming form. "Well, hello. New out here, are you?" The voice carried a distinct accent and was nothing like what Azzy had been expecting. He had rather been expecting a deep, dark, hellish voice. This one was playful, almost pleasant. He watched as the black hood was pushed back, and as the moon lit up the face of the rider, Azzy just stared. The face of the rider was handsome, almost unbearably so from the high cheekbones to the long red hair that fell unruly to frame a chiseled jaw, to the perfect lips turned up in a smirk, and oh, those eyes, though. Eyes of a strange gold hue that seemed lit from within by flames that burned like hellfire, surrounded a black slitted pupil like that of a venomous serpent, and they stared at Azzy with open curiosity. "What happened to the other fellow, eh? Finally get eaten, did he?" A masculine chuckle floated down to Azzy's ears, and he nearly smiled back at the strange man before recovering his senses. Oh, good Lord! That's nothing to laugh about," Azzy snapped in righteous indignation. "Oh, I? Well, I warned the stuffy bastard to stop teasing old Terrymore the troll, Is it my fault he didn't listen? The Dark Rider never broke eye contact with Azzy, and the half-celestial was beginning to feel very uneasy under the unblinking stare.
Well, be that as it may, it just isn't funny when people get eaten,
Azzy spluttered.
Not funny at all, sir.
Crow. They call me Crow. Well, when they call me, which thankfully isn't bloody often. The strange man, Crow, narrowed his eyes as he unabashedly ran them over Azzy's body before refocusing on his face. New to this, are we, Mr. Azzy realized the questioning look and the pause were so he could announce his name.
Azzy McPhail.
He raised his chin a bit and glared at Crow.
And yes, I may be new, but I warn you, I won't be as easy to eat as the last fellow. I'm half celestial, son of one of the king's best celestial knights, and this is a blessed sword which could easily end your wicked life.
Oh, aye. Quite a nice blade, that. They gave me a bloody cursed chain with spikes. It burns with hellfire. Looks cool and all, but it's a buggered nuisance to wield. Crow grinned at Azzy. I'm the spawn of the fallen. They say we were once the same stock as your lot. Funny that, eh? Azzy simply stared at the man in confusion. He had been gearing up to fight him, and yet this Crow fellow sat relaxed on his giant hell-spawned horse and chatted at him as if they were friends. Azzy clenched his jaw and narrowed his blue eyes at the odd man. They said the fallen were known for their wiles. That must be it. He was trying to lull Azzy into a false sense of security before he attacked.
I'm not falling for your distractions, you vile fiend,
Azzy cried as he willed the sword's blue flame to burn even brighter, feeling a bit of satisfaction when Crow's yellow eyes winced from the light.
Now, return back to your home in those cursed woods, or there'll be trouble.
Crow's lips parted, revealing a smile full of teeth that were disturbingly sharp and fang-like. Trouble is my middle name, Angel. Crow elegantly swung his leg over the front of his saddle and lightly slid to the ground. The giant horse snorted, sparks again, but didn't move. As he could see, the man was taller than he was, but thinner. Not so much in a gaunt way, but in a lithe, athletic sort of way. Azzy's mouth went dry as he took a defensive stance. Crow lifted his hands in a half-hearted gesture of surrender. Look, Angel. Azzy corrected sharply. Whatever. Look, I didn't come here to pick a fight. I was out for a ride, and I thought I'd stop and check in here, see who was about. Gets lonely out this way, what with my post being the furthest out on my lot's side. Just thought I'd give old Dagon here a bit of exercise and see if I could maybe strike up a chat with whoever they posted out here. I promise you, I'm not the sort to go out and look for extra work. As he stared at him suspiciously, Crow sighed. Look, what would set your mind at ease?
Beg your pardon,
as he said, startled. What can I do to show you I'm not here to harm you? Crow asked slowly, hand still raised to show he was unarmed.
Why would you want to do that?
As he relaxed his stance a fraction, bewildered. Because out here all I've got to talk to is my horse, and Terrymore the troll, when he's not in the mood to try to see what the flesh of the fallen tastes like. Crow shrugs. Not to mention, I took this post because I can't stand the rest of my lot. The boredom, Angel, it's like being in hell. You haven't been out here long yet, but you'll see. It can drive you mad." "Oh, is that what you are then? Mad?" Crow laughed, and his fangs glittered in the moonlight. "Aye, maybe a bit. Can you blame me?" As he considered living alone in the cursed forest with only a flesh-eating troll and a demonic horse for company, he shuddered a bit at the thought. "Cold night, isn't it?" Crow asked casually, his eyes flicking over to the well-lit door of Azzy's guard shack. "Bet it's a lot warmer inside. And did I see a two-stall stable out there behind it? Dagon would likely love a rest in one of those, if you wanted to take this chat inside." As he considered this, as he gazed at Crow, the man really didn't seem that threatening, and he could see no weapon on his actual person. "Well, where's your hellfire chain?" "Hanging off the other side of my saddle." "Plan to bring it in with you, then?" As he cocked an eyebrow. "What? No! Bloody awkward thing can stay right where it's at on Dagon." It was indeed getting very cold, and Azzy had put the kettle on to boil just before Crow had made his appearance. A nice cup of hot tea and a sit-down would be rather nice. "Fine," Azzy muttered, and he couldn't help but admire how Crow's grin brought out his high cheekbones and fetching laugh lines at the corners of his big golden eyes. "But no funny business. I won't hesitate to smite you, you know." "Understandable, Angel. Give me a tick to put this brute in a stall, and I'll be right in." As Crow grabbed the reins of the huge black horse and headed to the small stable, Azzy called out, "See he doesn't bother my mare. She's a blessed steed, you know. Their lines are kept very pure." "Right, yep, I'll lock him up tight," came the cheerful answer. As he hurried inside, and by the time Crow came in, he had 2 mugs of piping hot tea ready. There was also a chessboard laid out on the small table, where Azzy sat on the side with the ivory figurines. Crow grabbed the mug in both of his hands and sighed as he lowered himself into the opposite chair, eyeing the ebony pieces before him. "Well, we don't have to play," as he said hesitantly. I set it out just in case." "Oh, I'd love to play with you, Angel." Something about the way Crow said it, or maybe the way his golden eyes danced over the rim of his mug as he took a sip of tea, made Azzy feel odd, a bit fluttery low down in his tummy. "Well then, would you like first go?" Azzy asked, hoping he didn't sound as breathless as he felt. "Sure, Angel, I'll make the first move," Crow answered silkily, and his long, elegant fingers caressed a pawn in a way that made Azzy blush before finally pushing it forward to start the game. And that is the end of Chapter 1.